got a prescription windshield. That was a joke, but now that I said it out loud, that is a good idea. Why is there no such thing as prescription windshields? Surely that's coming. Little setting, little wheel right there, I'm 2040, bam! Oh! That's a great idea. Somebody go to work. You can have it for free. I normally would have sued you, but now that I know that we are all one. Just understanding the world in individual vessels. But you are me as I am you. But you knew that. You've been here before. Sorry. Sometimes at the end of one of these, my thread, I can feel the threads pulling. There's so many more things I want to do, but I can't. I don't have time. And I'm not even sure you would like it. But anyway. Here's what we're going to do. Because I believe you deserve it, this is my best piece. I don't normally do my best piece in these smaller gigs. But here it is. This is, I believe, the finest piece of comedy I've ever written. You can judge for yourself. But it won't change my mind. Everything it's ever been. Everything it's ever been. But here's my dilemma. Let me just tell you what the dilemma is with smaller rural, this isn't rural, but smaller town gigs like this, is I want you to have fun. I want this to be excellent. I want you to come back and keep supporting comedy in this great, great space. But I also am aware that if I did my best show ever here, it's wasted. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Like one day somebody like, what's the best show you ever did? You're not going to believe it. But it was in a repurposed warehouse somewhere in Kiama. I don't even know what it was called. Had a car and a motorcycle parked in it. It was the Motorcycle Parking Lot Cafe. That was rude. But also true. What is the name of this place?
Finding Fillmore.
What's it called?
Finding Fillmore.
It's called Finding Fillmore. Well, that makes sense. It's in the title that you might not know. I like that. Finding Fillmore. Excellent. Excellent work. I also am a big fan of alliteration. Do you think he was like, what are we going to call it? Finding Franklins. Finding Finnegans. Finding Finnegan. About finding Finderers. Finding a Philip. Philip Moore. Finding Fillmore. Because Fillmore is what we're going to do because we're feeding and beveraging them and they will need to fill themselves more. They will find themselves filling up more. Yeah. Is that how it worked, Jordan Morgan? Is that about right? Okay. Excellent news. Ladies and gentlemen, my big concluding bit. This is me jumping off the balance beam. My finest written comedy ever. We'll start that again. When my children are 12 and thusly 10, my wife came home from work one night and she said, I'm going to get the children a pet. Now this shocked me because we had never had a pet in our entire relationship. And I was like, why do you want to get a pet? And she said, I think it will help the children understand love and responsibility. Now I was surprised because I had thought we might have been teaching them about that. But it turns out my wife was tired and wanted to outsource it. I very much like living in her house. So I said, okay. I was surprised the next day when she came home with a rabbit. A rabbit! Now I don't know if you've ever had a rabbit as a pet, but they have no love inside them. Rabbits are loveless, hateful creatures. I now hate rabbits so much I support greyhound racing. I couldn't help myself. I said, why a rabbit? I said, oh, the girls especially are going to love that rabbit. And to be fair, the girls did love that rabbit for 3 days. And then I had a rabbit for 4 years. And that's when I discovered how hateful they are. Every single day, I would go out into the back, open the lid to his hutch, and put a plate of his favorite food inside. And every day, he would run and hide in the corner as if today was the day I was going to murder him. He's going to kill me. I'm going to die. It's going to happen now. Every single day for 4 years, he ran and hid. And one day, sure enough, I opened the lid, and he was dead.
Oh, no.
And I don't know what killed him. My theory? Stress. Who can live like that? Thinking you're going to get murdered every night. It's a little hard. I called my wife and told her what had happened, and she said, oh, the girls are going to be so sad. And I said, the girls don't even know they have a rabbit. I'll take care of it. So I did. That day, they get home from school. And I thought out of politeness, I said, girls, you probably don't remember, but we used to have a rabbit. And he passed away today. And they both burst into tears simultaneously. Just cry, cry, cry. And through the tears, one of them said, Daddy, can we please have a funeral? But I'd already made the arrangements. I said, girls, sit down. You don't know this, but me and Mr. Squiggles were very close. And in the last couple of weeks, we knew his time was short. So I asked him one day, I said, Mr. Squiggles, what's the one thing in this world you've always wanted to do that you've never done? And do you know what he said, girls? He said, I've always wanted to know where that big red wheelie bin goes. And that's where he is, girls. Off on his last big adventure. Whenever we hear beep, 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 that'll be the sound of his laughter. Now, that's the fun way to tell that story using the language of stand-up comedy. What happened in real life is I did throw the rabbit in the bin. Then I called my wife and told her what I had done, and she lost her shit. So now I'm back in the bin. I gotta get the rabbit out of the bin. I gotta wash the coffee grounds off the rabbit. I gotta blow dry it like some sort of amateur taxidermist. Girls get home, they get sad. We put the rabbit in a little shoebox, dig a hole in the backyard, have a little funeral. I think all is well. That night at dinner, they are still so sad. My wife declares she will get them a new pet the next day. And the very next day, she came home with a puppy. Yes. Now, to be fair, a puppy is a fine and excellent pet. But thanks to that puppy, I had to bury Mr. Squiggles 7 more times. As I step away with all of my thanks for you again, what you need to know, and I find this odd, I've never had pets in my life, but now that we have a dog, I find it curious that if you tell people you have a dog, they very much want to know what sort of dog you have. So just so you don't leave wondering, we have a Boardoodle, which is a cross between a Border Collie and a Poodle. It's very much like a Cavoodle, or a Spoodle, or a Labradoodle. My point is, there is not a dog in the world that will not fuck a poodle. I don't know if it's the curly hair or the high intelligence. Drives them crazy. Thank you so very much again. Thank you very much.